Tonight I want to talk to you about sort of the idea of collection, action, energy efficiency, and light bulbs. Light bulbs are sort of this ubiquitous object. They're everywhere. They're always around us. And even in this photo that's coming up of a simple dining room, there are 13 light bulbs in this picture. So they're everywhere around us all the time. Now, I like to view the world through the lens of a design problem. So if we had the design problem of creating a machine that wasted 90% of the fuel that it used to work, this is what we would have. And this is a incandescent light bulb, the sort of old school thinking and technology that's been around for 100 years. Now, if we were to invert that design problem and say, let's create a machine that wastes less than 10% of the energy or the fuel that it uses, this would be the solution that we would come up with. And this is a compact fluorescent bulb. You find them at Home Depot, that they've sort of percolated the consciousness lately, but a much more efficient alternative to what we have now. So looking at it from a performance point of view, what we see is that an incandescent bulb uses 3 times the energy, puts out half the light, and lasts about a quarter as long as the CFL that I showed previously. And the argument is, well, they're more expensive. They're a lot more expensive. Well, we have this program in Delaware now that's called Energize Delaware, and they actually have subsidies for CFLs that bring that cost down to less than half what it takes to buy an incandescent bulb. So how do we use light? I sort of did an informal analysis here, and what I came across was that we essentially have 30 bulbs per household. So that means that in your home you have at least 30 light bulbs, maybe a few more, maybe a few less, but on average 30. So how do we use those light bulbs? Well, obviously don't use every one the same way in the same space every day. So for the purpose of argument, we'll say there are 15 that we use an hour a day or less, 15 we use 3 hours a day or more. Well, what does that mean? That means that we use 60 hours of lighting a day per household, which is a huge number compared to other parts of the world, other cultures. We definitely like our energy consumption. And what this adds up to, and the number that we get, is approximately 108 kilowatt hours a month per household, again, assuming that 60-watt incandescent bulb. Now, I know there's some people in the room that have some CFLs, but the majority of the houses that I go into and that I see, it's pretty much always the old school incandescent. So let's think about this room right now. Now, there were 150 tickets sold to Ignite Wilmington tonight, accounting for wives, spouses, husbands, girlfriends, singles. Let's for the sake of argument, say there are 100 households that are represented here tonight. So what does that mean? That means that we have control over 3,000 light bulbs sitting in this room. That's 3,000 opportunities to choose whether or not we use the old school incandescent or whether we choose to use something that's maybe a little bit more efficient CFL. So what I'm here and what I want to try and accomplish is, what if I can get you to change just one bulb in your home? What does that mean? What sort of savings do you see? What kind of impact does that really have? And what we're going to come across is that changing that one light bulb is going to save 5,100 kilowatt hours and $705 a year. Now that's collectively. That's everybody in this room. That's 100 households that we talked about. And $705 may not seem like a whole lot of money. But let's compare that to another investment that we might make. Let's say we bought some stock in Google. Now, if we had been savvy investors and we bought that stock in Google at its low and sold it at its high, for $25, we would have seen $42.50. Our $25 investment in CFLs, we see $705 savings over a 1-year period. So let's extrapolate that. Let's say, what if I could get everybody in Newcastle County to change one light bulb? What does that mean? That means we save 10.6 million kilowatt hours, or $1.4 million. What about the whole state? Delaware is a small state, 16.7 million kilowatt hours saved, or over $2 million. And as I said before, Delaware being a very small state, well, let's look north. Let's look at a bigger state. Let's look at, say, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has 5.7 million households. If we were to change one light bulb, one incandescent from to a CFL, we would save over $40 million alone. So I guess the point that I'm trying to get to and what I'm trying to say here is that, I'm talking about one light bulb, but what if we changed all 30? That $14 million and $20 million, again, times by 30, it's a huge impact for such a small action. And really that's what we're trying to get to here, is that no matter how small it may seem or how insignificant the things that you do may come across, that really collectively, if we all strive and try to make that change, that can really have a huge impact. Thanks.